There was another Ontario team making moves past week, and obviously not as dramatic as acquiring Joe Thornton, but some may say the Ottawa Senators are on the rise. And I don't know if there's any Sens fans watching or Sens fans in general, but Eugene Melnyk said that they're going to win the Stanley Cup in 4 years. Within 4 years.
I mean, he says that. I feel like he says that once every 6 months. He's like, oh, just you wait. And no one holds him to account at all that he's saying that a team that just finished 30th is going to win a cup within 4 years.
Right. So they finished 30th, 31st, and 30th over the past 3 seasons. But, okay, we can give them this. I think they've reinvigorated their roster a little bit this season, adding Matt Murray. And then they just got Dadonov up front, and they have got Branson on defense. So that's obviously huge. And they drafted 2 of the top 5 players in NHL draft this year. So obviously they have, young talent coming up in AHL and in college. But I don't think it's safe to say that they're going to be a cup champion in the next 4 years. I'll go out on a whim and say that. But you had a conversation with someone very close to the Sens that kind of showed us that maybe that Sens fans are getting a little carried away. Is that right?
Well, yeah. So we had Montreal Canadiens reporter, Sportsnet Montreal Canadiens reporter, Eric Engels on my podcast, the Steve Dangle podcast, named after me because I'm conceited. And we were talking about the Habs, the Leafs, and then he started talking about the Sens, who I thought were having a pretty good offseason, but he kind of changed my mind, and I want to see if you guys feel the same.
I'm hearing nonstop positive stuff about the Ottawa Senators. Look at what they did at the draft, and look at these players and this and that. Like, I watched the Ottawa Senators and I saw that they traded away Jean-Gabriel Pageau and they lost Mark Borowiecki for nothing. I'm worried about Ottawa. I'm worried because they have some incredible young players that are coming. They have a couple that are already here, whether it's Tkachuk and Shabbat. If you don't have the proper insulation, if you don't have the proper guys around to show them how to be professionals and everything that entails, and it entails much more than just going out on the ice and playing and doing the things you're supposed to do as a player. We're talking about culture.
Okay, well, we have some comments already saying that Brett Moore here in the chat says Sens fan here, any team could win the cup within 4 years. Yeah, but that's not what we're asking, Brett Moore. Gaming Lucy says they're better now than before, but still a bottom 10 team. So I think we're kind of realizing, got a little carried away maybe.
Yeah, the conversation the extension of it was, okay, so Mark Borowiecki does that ridiculous Between Two Ferns interview with Eugene Melnyk. And, there's all sorts of things that, veterans need to teach the young guys about the league. And sometimes it's managing egos and sometimes it's managing your boss. Who is there to jump on grenades now for the Ottawa Senators? Mm-hmm. The only name that comes to mind for me is Eric Branson, and he just got there. Yeah. I'm not sure what vets are expected to do what on this team. Brady Tkachuk, I think, is going to be a star in this league. He arguably already is. He made it to the All-Star game. But you got to protect these guys. He's still only 20 years old? Mm-hmm. Got to protect them.
I think Dadonov was a steal for Ottawa. He's a 25-plus goal scorer the past 3 seasons with Florida, and he's 1 year removed from a 70-point season, but I don't think that he's that missing piece. I still think that there are some things that the Ottawa Senators need to add, and I don't know. They've been drafting well, but is that enough? It takes time to get those players developed to make an impact. But, Melnyk also said that they want 6,000 fans in the Canadian Tire Center next year, which is also a stretch in my opinion. Pandemic aside, not to be rude to Sens fans, because last week Sabres fans were all in my mentions. Oh boy, they took that one personally when we talked about Taylor Hall. Yeah, everyone loves us in Buffalo, but they were at bottom of the pack, the Ottawa Senators, and I don't think that this offseason alone is going to push them over the barrier, unfortunately.
No, listen, the fact they got Tim Stützle for the pick that they got for Erik Karlsson should just insulate any Senators fans' feelings. You thought that pick was going to be 31st overall because the Sharks were going to win the cup, and it ended up being 3rd overall. So no matter how good or bad they are, that is the most ridiculous luck I think we saw all this past season.